Good morning, kids, and welcome back to a brand new video of Fox Looks On, Connie X. Today we're going to be taking a look at what if Garurumon was able to Digivolve with every Crest. Let's hop in and check it out.
Well, the video where we gave Greymon evolutions as if it could use every crest in Digimon Adventure did kind of okay. So in today's video, let's explore Garurumon.
Boom, boom, boom. It only makes sense.
What is up, digital companions? My name is CarnEX and welcome back to another video. And yes, on today's video, we're going to be doing what we did with Greymon, but this time with Garurumon. The mission statement here is that while it might not technically be true, I do think the crests somewhat influence the evolutions of the partner Digimon in Adventure. And you see this echoed in 02, where the Digi-Eggs that bear the crests carry on traits. Even if those traits feel a little bit weird, the Sincerity Egg is still grass life, just like the Palmon line. The Courage Egg is fire and dragons and dinosaurs, just like the Agumon evolution lines. So what we're trying to do is find Digimon that fit to those traits, and also work thematically as evolutions, and we're starting at Champion because in the original Digimon Adventure, that's when the crests were used. Greymon into Metal Greymon, Garurumon into Garurumon, and so on. So what we're going to do is try and find an Ultimate and a Mega for each of these crests, and we're beginning, of course, with Courage. Now normally if we look at Gabumon's evolution line, it's Gabumon, Garurumon, Garurumon, Metal Garurumon. Pretty straightforward. If Courage adds elements of dragons and fire, that's an interesting proposition, isn't it? As I've said before, we don't really have wolf dragons in Digimon. The closest we have is Magnadramon, as people pointed out last time, but Magnadramon is Kari's Mega. We can't really use it. While Magnadramon and Ophanimon do share the spotlight in different Digimon media, in the original Adventure canon, it's a majority Magnadramon. Some of you are going to be mad about this though, because
like only that fluff dragon.
Because I think a really obvious and pretty fitting evolution line from Garurumon using the Crest of Courage is Garurumon digivolving to Solugamon. It's not a dragon wolf, but it is a fire wolf. And it feels like a suitable mix of the concepts of Garurumon and even Metal Garurumon with Metal Greymon and War Greymon. And I think this matchup of fire wolf with Garurumon, the wolf, is too perfect to miss out, even if it is a very recent Digimon in Solugamon. When I first started putting the Greymon video together, I already had Solugamon in mind, and yeah, that does mean that its evolution is gonna be Fenrir Lugamon. It's just great. It's almost like an alternate Evo for Garurumon, honestly, as Garurumon already has Blue Fox Fire. But that kind of gets extinguished when it becomes Garurumon and turns to Ice when it becomes Metal Garurumon. So Fenrir Lugamon...
Okay, I actually didn't notice that. That is nice.
Lugamon is an alternative Garurumon Mega imbued with more fire thanks to the Crest of Courage really works to me. That's an interesting connection that might work here too, is the Lugamon kind of completes a trio with Ryudamon and Dorumon. Now some people said Dorumon is a wolf dragon, and you know what? I can kind of see it. I think it's honestly more just like a furry dragon or something, but if you want to go with wolf dragon, I'm happy enough with that. And so the Dorumon line would be good here too, but I think using Solugamon and Fenrir Lugamon is a nice compromise. Adding that fire element that the Dorumon line kind of lacks. Yes, I know some people are going to want me to use Doru Greymon, but remember that is a dubism. In Japan it is Doru Gureimon, not Greymon. I'm most happy with Solugamon and Fenrir Lugamon, but if you want to use Doru Greymon and Alphamon or something, that's fine too. Over to the Crest of Love, this was another struggle. I wanted to fold in the elements that we see in Love. Birdramon becomes Garudamon and Phoenixmon. There is a very...
So, flying, bird, and Native American.
Heavy bird focus, or winged focus. Looking at the armor Digi-Egg of Love, again it is wings. Sometimes it is armor, like with Halcymon. I really like that we did Cargodramon and Brigadramon for Greymon, but how do we merge flying, wings, birds with quadrupeds and wolves? Well, how about we make Garurumon with the Crest of Love become Mehiramon? It's a winged, admittedly tiger, but it's winged, and it's a beast. And, well, there is another winged animal that indeed goes from quadruped to biped via mode change, Duftmon, a Royal Knight, perfect, as Metal Garurumon becomes Omnimon and becomes a Royal Knight. Like I had with Greymon, this means that Garurumon gets to be a Royal Knight in its own right. And I do like the idea that it goes from quadruped to biped. It kind of solves some of my issues with Garurumon becoming a biped in Garurumon, then back to a quadruped in Metal Garurumon. We have an actual Duftmon that can mode change and has wings in both instances. I think that line, Gabumon, Garurumon, Mehiramon, and Duftmon, is really great, and I think a great merging of Love and Garurumon's traits. Now, some of you might want to see an actual bird or something, but I think this works great. Sincerity with its grass focus, and kind of humanoid focused if you think about it. We go...
And Ninja from 02, you know, Ninja.
From Palmon and Togemon, who is bipedal but humanoid might be a stretch, into the very feminine, very humanoid Lilymon and Rosemon. That's when it struck me that a fun mega for Garurumon with sincerity could be Marukimon or Mercumon. It is a green nature spirit Digimon with a very humanoid underneath, and I think it works great as a mega for Garurumon. It's very beastly, and it's meant to be quite quick, which I think translates nicely from Garurumon. Even its head and arm pieces look quite Garurumon to me, kind of more of a teal blue green than the outright whites and blues of Garurumon, but with that green hair. But how do we fill in this gap? Well, you can use basically any animal Digimon. Finding a green Digimon was tough. We could also use like a random nature looking Digimon like an Algamon evolution or Aegiacusmon green, but I'm gonna go a little bit more out there with it and choose Jagamon. First of all, Jagamon is like intrinsically linked with plants and specifically potatoes. It's a plant type Digimon and it's a quadruped, which I think is a pretty fun evolution of Garurumon. Even if its scale feels like it should be smaller than Garurumon, it is an ultimate level. And I think putting it into the line Gabumon, Garurumon, Jagamon, Marukimon, thinking about the Crest of Sincerity is a ton of fun. It's very different, very Digimon, but I like it a lot. And I think I prefer it to the idea of trying to use the traditional Japanese thing we went with Greymon, because there are so few in comparison Garurumon variants at the mega level. I think this Jagamon, Marukimon thing works quite well. Though an alternate ultimate I did think about with that Japanese theme in mind was Zanmetsumon, which I do quite like as a Garurumon Evo, because Zanmetsumon makes me think of Raidramon. Reliability, oh boy. The traits are the ocean, and sometimes big, furry creatures like Ikakumon and Zudomon. There's a connection.
Deep sea is pretty much all it's got, and a little bit of Thor.
To Norse mythology, but overall the theme is ocean, especially with Plesiomon being the alternate mega in some early media for Joe's Gomamon. I do think Garurumon becoming Hangyomon is interesting. They both are white and blue, and it goes from the quadruped Garurumon to the biped Hangyomon, similar to the Garurumon to Were-Garurumon situation. And I think if we did go Hangyomon, it would mean it would look a little bit smaller, which would kind of set up a scale that I'm looking to move towards, having that Hangyomon become Pukumon. Honestly, I just like this connection because Pukumon, despite being a mega, is this like tiny little spiky punk guy. I really don't get to use it in a ton of videos, but it being a punk, specifically I guess a British punk, really reminds me of Were-Garurumon. Were-Garurumon to Pukumon is one of those funny V-Pet style evolutions that I'm a fan of. So if we can kind of fold that in with the Crest of Reliability, I don't hate that. However, I know some people are going to hate Gabumon to Garurumon to Hangyomon to Pukumon, because despite being Digimon fans, some of you really want things to be super anime style. So I think an alternate take focusing more on the ice side of things like Ikakumon and Vaikmon could be Garurumon to Pangeamon, which technically is an ultimate level, despite looking just like a color swap of Leomon, and then ending on Ancient Mega Threamon. I don't mind using Ancient Digimon here too much. It's not the Frontier canon, so go wild. I think that's also a good line, but maybe a little bit less fun, and a little bit less of a fun connect back to Garurumon, other than all being animals. The Crest of Knowledge has a theme of bugs. Tentomon, Kabuterimon, Mega Kabuterimon, and Hercules Kabuterimon, as well as looking into 02, we see Digmon. But Digmon is also an Earth elemental, and that is indeed one of the big things of Digmon's traits. I'm just gonna use a new Digimon because we have it, and have Garurumon become Vespamon and Tiger Vespamon. I think it's nice somewhat that Garurumon, if it became Vespamon with the Crest of Knowledge, would become a biped, just like it did when it became Were-Garurumon. And maybe I'm absolutely reaching here, but the vibe is not dissimilar. As for Tiger Vespamon, while it is a cyborg similar to Metal Garurumon, and while it isn't quadrupedal, its name is Tiger Vespamon, and honestly I just kind of like the joke of the idea of Garurumon, a wolf, becoming a different type of quadruped animal, a Tiger Vespamon. Admittedly, it's mostly a wasp or a bee. It's far from perfect, but I do think the cyborg element that Metal Garurumon and Tiger Vespamon share makes this a less terrible evolution line, and I can definitely see how Garurumon could...
It's a good stretch, but it's actually not too bad a stretch.
...become Vespamon. So, again, this is a very V-Pet style evolution, but I think if it happened in the anime, people wouldn't be terribly mad at it, you know? Alright, Hope. Last time when I gave a light evolution to Tai, I wanted something that connected back to his relationship with his sister Kari. That's why I gave him Victory Greymon. People did point out, however, that Rise and Shine Greymon would also be great, and I do agree with their light-themed names. Let me cook those into a later video, though. So yes, likewise, Matt has...
Hold it. Let him cook.
a very intrinsic relationship with his brother TK. Matt unlocking Metal Garurumon is kind of because of his brother's Crest in some ways, or Tai and Matt being able to digivolve to Mega is connected to Kari and TK's Angels. The Crests are kind of interacting already. Though no, the Light and Hope Crest aren't literally making War Greymon and Metal Garurumon, it's more like Crest synergy, you know? That's why I think a really fun evolution for Garurumon with the Crest of Hope could be Where Garurumon Sagittarius mode. We never saw this in the original Adventure canon. This is an Adventure 2020 mode change. But as some of you probably realize, Sagittarius mode gets its name from the Sagittarius constellation. And looking into Digimon Adventure 02, Pegasusmon and the other Hope Armor Digivolutions derive from constellations, Greek myth, oftentimes constellations having the same name as things in Greek myth, and kind of a horse vibe. I think it's more so a constellation thing, but it's up to you to decide in the comments. So Sagittarius mode having the name of a constellation I think is really fun. And Sagittarius mode was also something in Adventure 2020 that was a build-up to Crest Garurumon. Matt using the Crest of Hope to digivolve his Garurumon, eventually ending up in a golden Garurumon, I think is perfect, and an excuse to use one of the major Metal Garurumon variants. Hope is very much associated with golden colors. You see it in the Crest, the Digi-Egg, Angemon, and especially Pegasusmon, so I think Crest Garurumon as the Mega is a absolute slam dunk. Though I will contest, if you don't like a mode change as the pre-evolution for that, and you want a proper Digimon that hasn't got a mode in its name, I do also think Jaeger Darulumon would be pretty good here. Not perfect, but pretty good. And finally, ending on the Crest of Light, the other side to Matt's brother's Crest, I had an immediate thought for this, and that is Garurumon becoming Garurumon, or Kendo Garurumon in the dub again. I don't like using dubisms. I'm not choosing it because it's a Garurumon in the dub. I am choosing it because it is literally a light spirit in Frontier, obsessed with that. I might think because of that I would choose Beowulfmon as the Mega maybe, or even Ancient Garurumon. But I'm actually going to go...
go Ancient, that's what I'd say.
...with Erlangmon, which is a God-Man Digimon. Very holy, connecting perfectly to the Crest of Light with Angelwomon, Nefertimon, etc. And of course it's wolf-like because in Digimon New Century, where it debuted, it is a DNA Digivolution of Metal Garurumon and Cherubimon Virtue. I don't care if it's a DNA Digivolution either. Plenty of Digimon that originated as DNA Digivolutions or Jogresses, fusions, whatever, have been used in regular evolution lines before. Examon is an example of this. It doesn't matter that a Digimon is considered an ultra level, they can still be used as a Mega, because technically the ultra level doesn't really exist yet, although we do have level 7s in the card game. And I just think Gabumon, Garurumon, Garumon, and Erlangmon for the Crest of Light works so nicely. Like I say, I did consider Ancient Garurumon to get another Garurumon variant in here, or indeed Zed Garurumon, but come on, man. Hope and Light being Crest Garurumon and Erlangmon, that looks so good to me. And that is it. My ideas for what might happen if Garurumon digivolved with all the other Crests in Digimon Adventure. Like I said in the Greymon video, that didn't include Kindness or Miracles or Destiny because they are much more associated with Armor Digi-Eggs. We've not really seen what a Kindness evolution would be because Wormmon only ever became Stingmon and then just kind of DNA digivolved from there in the Adventure canon. You can count Jewel Beamon and Bancho Stingmon if you want, but we've still never seen those in the Adventure anime. If you enjoyed this, do make sure you like it and subscribe. Thank you very much, and leave a comment if you want to. Let me know your thoughts and your picks. This, of course, is not objective. It's all subjective and just a bit of fun. Also, make sure you go check out my new channel, Khan Ultra, where I'm going to be talking about all other stuff that I love besides Digimon. Video games. It's mostly video games. But also, we're going to talk about anime and things like that as the channel progresses. So make sure you go hit subscribe over there. The first week of the channel, which is when I'm recording this, has gone really well so far. The first major video's on like 7K. Channel's racing towards 1,000 subscribers, so I appreciate you all very much if you go check that out. And you can become a patron over on patreon.com/KhanEX, like my Sovereign, ZDK14, for early access to main...
Alright everyone, that's going to be the end of today's video, and I hope you all enjoyed this. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more. Link to the original will be in the description below, and I'll see you kids next time when we flick back on. This is Fox, signing out. Peace.